Hi, I am Ronit Srivastava. Today I am here with the topic the preamble. This video is a combination of both Hindi and English. This is a short video. This video talks about following points. What is preamble? Is preamble part of Indian Constitution? Can preamble be amended? Is preamble enforceable in the court of law? What gives effect to the preamble of Indian Constitution? Now I will read what is written under the preamble of Indian Constitution. The preamble says, "We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, that is social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of individual and the unity and integrity of nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and to give ourselves this Constitution." Now I will explain this entire paragraph, but before that, I will divide this entire preamble into three parts. The first part read, "We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic." We the people of India talks about the source of Indian Constitution. That is, the people of this country had given themselves this constitution. The line which talks about sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic are the nature of Indian Constitution. Now I will explain each and every nature of Indian Constitution. First, that is sovereign. India is a sovereign country. That is, India can make or unmake any decision with respect to itself without interference by any other country. Second, talks about democratic. The Constitution of India ensures the creation and existence of the government at the will of people through election. This term democratic comes from the democracy. And in India, we have representative democracy. People of this country elect representatives. These represent, legislate on behalf of the larger public good. One example I would like to give here, that is from Arshi Podial versus Union of India case 1994. Supreme Court says, democracy donates people's power and equal participation of all citizens in the polity. The next nature is republic. India is a republic country. That means the head of state, the head of India is elected, not nominated, and is not a hereditary monarch. That is the president of India. The next nature is socialist. This term comes from the philosophy of socialism, which aims at elimination of inequality in income and status and standards of life. This word socialist was not part of original Indian constitution but was inserted by Miss Indira Gandhi under 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. One of the case study, D.S. Nakara versus Union of India 1983, in which Supreme Court says socialism in Indian content aims at elimination of inequality in income, status and standards of life. The last nature of Indian Constitution is secular. This term is also added by 42nd Amendment Act, and it says state protects all religion equally and does not uphold any religion as the state religion. That is, in India, each and every religion will be protected and no religion will be upheld as a state religion of India. Like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Burma, they have their own state religion. Now I will talk about the objectives or the goals of Indian Constitution, which is mentioned under the preamble of Indian Constitution. The first is justice, that is social, economic and political justice. Starting with the social justice. This social justice is a comprehensive term and its major work is to remove the social imbalance which is existing in the society and that can be removed only by the creation of laws so that a welfare state could be established. One of the case study, that is Dalmia Cement Limited versus Union of India 1996, in which Supreme Court says social justice is a comprehensive form to remove social imbalance by law harmonizing the rival claims or the interest of different groups or sections in the social structure or individuals by means of which alone it would be possible to build up a welfare state. Next is political justice. Political justice states the absence of any arbitrary distinction between man and a man in a political sphere. That means if there is a common man and if there is a man whose occupation is politics, so there should not be any kind of distinction between the two. And this is realized by the universal adult suffrage, under which whosoever is about the age of 18 years can vote in the election. One of the case study, that is from Lilith Thomas versus Union of India 2030, which says in 2013 at the age of 85, Lilith Thomas won a landmark judgment in Basant Kumar Chaudhary versus Union of India, under which members of Indian Parliament and members of state legislative bodies convicted of a crime or a jail become ineligible to run for election or hold an elected seat. Next objective or the goal is economic justice. The ideal of economic justice is to make equality of status meaningful and life worthy living. If a society is poor, then state will come in picture and have to feed the society. The next goal is liberty. Liberty means freedom. Freedom of what? Freedom of thought, freedom of expression, freedom of belief, freedom of faith, and freedom of worship. The next goal is equality. Banishment of inequality, and one of the most important point that untouchability in this country have been abolished. The next and the last goal of Indian Constitution is fraternity, a feeling that we are all children of same soil, the same motherland. And this can be maintained or created only with the help of dignity of an individual. Fraternity cannot be, however, be installed unless the dignity of each of its members is maintained. Supreme Court in 2014 recognizes transgender as the third gender. So now we can say, what is preamble? Preamble is the identity card of Indian Constitution. Now I will move to the third part. It says, in our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and to give ourselves this Constitution. This part talks about the date of adaptation of Indian Constitution, and that is 26th day of November 1949. And this part will also come under the definition of preamble of Indian Constitution. That preamble also talks about the date of adaptation of Indian Constitution. So now this was all about from the topic preamble. Preamble talks about the objectives or the goals of Indian Constitution. It talks about the nature of Indian Constitution. It talks about the date of adaptation of Indian Constitution. It also talks about the source of Indian Constitution. So the outcome of this entire story is, we the people of India talks about the source of Indian Constitution. Sovereign, socialist, democratic republic, secular talks about the nature of Indian Constitution. Justice, liberty, equality, fraternity talks about the objectives or the goals of Indian Constitution. 26th day of November 1949 talks about the date of adaptation of Indian Constitution. Now, the last part of this video, which talks about the most important questions related to the preamble of Indian Constitution. The first question is preamble part of the Constitution of India? Berubari Union case of 1960, in which Supreme Court says no, it is not part of Indian Constitution. But Kesav Nanda Bharati versus State of Kerala, here Supreme Court says yes, preamble is a part of Indian Constitution. Second question is, can we amend the preamble? The answer of this question is no. Preamble cannot be amended, it can only be enriched. The objectives, the goals can be enlarged. Objectives of socialism, secularism was enlarged. You cannot delete anything because it is the part of basic structure of Indian Constitution. The next question is one of the most important work of preamble. Preamble will help in integrating fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. Next question, preamble is enforceable in court of law or not? No, preamble is not enforceable in the court of law. Next question, what give effect to the preamble of Indian Constitution? It is fundamental rights. If these got violated, then we can go directly to the Supreme Court of India. One of the most important facts related to the preamble is that Constitution of America was first to begin with preamble. Thank you so much. This was all about from the topic the preamble of Indian Constitution.